What is cocaine? Cocaine is an intense stimulant drug with very strong addictive potential made from the leaves of the cocoa plant native to South America. Cocaine produces short-term euphoria, energy, and talkativeness. It can be snorted or injected and has a variety of street names including coke, crack, flake, and snow, and has a street value of $80 to $100 per gram. Now, let's get an inside look on how cocaine affects the brain.
When smoke meets the large surface area in your lungs, it too slips right through the membrane and heads straight to your brain in as little as 8 seconds. This is much faster and more intense than the effects of snorted cocaine, which generally takes around 10 minutes to reach the brain. However, once in the brain, crack and cocaine are effectively identical. Initially, users feel energized, alert, and much more aware of their senses. In the brain, crack acts on the ventral tegmental area, releasing large amounts of dopamine, the chemical often associated with feelings of pleasure and euphoria. This dopamine travels between brain cells, called neurons, and binds to receptors that trigger the good feelings. Now, normally, this dopamine would be reabsorbed back into the neuron by a dopamine transporter. However, crack alters this process. It attaches to the transporter and blocks the reabsorption, allowing dopamine to build up and continually stimulate the receptors. As a result, you feel, well, really good for about 10 minutes. But soon after, the dopamine levels in the brain plummet, causing an extreme low and often feelings of depression, which is why many users typically smoke more, hoping to reach that high again.
Welcome to another episode of TED. To further elaborate on that video, we are going to discuss the short-term effects of using cocaine. One of the most important effects that most people undergo is a loss of appetite, increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, increased breathing rate, and increased body temperature. Pupils also dilate, and it is known that people that do use cocaine become nauseous if they're frequent users. We have a list of diagnosis codes that range from anxiety to depression to panic attacks. One of the important short-term uses does involve the increased craving for this drug. And people also undergo the illusion of bugs crawling under their skin. To discuss the long-term effects, I am going to direct your attention to Zaid.
Thank you, Sarah. So the long-term effect of cocaine is permanent damage to blood vessels, increased blood pressure, leading to heart attack, stroke, and even death. It also damages the liver, kidneys, and lung. It causes a respiratory failure, severe tooth decay, weight loss, and many other long-term effects from cocaine.
Thank you for meeting with us today.
Thank you for having me.
We understand that you don't have to answer any questions that you don't feel comfortable answering.
Okay.
How old were you when you first tried cocaine?
I was about 13 years old.
What was your environment like when you were using it?
I was with friends.
How many times a day were you using it?
To be honest, I wouldn't be able to give an exact answer, but it was definitely more than, I would say, 5 or 6.
How did you use cocaine?
Usually snorted.
How much did you spend on the daily buying it?
Most of the time I split with friends, so probably $20 to $40 a day.
How did you feel while trying it, and how long did it last you?
The high was pretty energetic. I had a lot of energy, ready to go do things, and just super focused.
What were the long-term effects, if any?
Definitely weight loss and loss of appetite. So, yeah.
What about the short terms?
Short terms, depression, anxiety. Yeah.
How soon after your first time did you try it again?
Almost immediately, the next day.
Why do you think people become addicted so quickly?
The high is just really good and you just want it to last.
Thank you for meeting with us today.
Thank you for
All
having
the
me.
following laws are in California.
You can be fined up to $4 million if caught with the possession of cocaine.
30 to 90 days in jail time if you possess coke.
The distribution of cocaine can get someone in a state prison for 2 to 4 years.
Is it worth it? I don't think so.